So this is me at 23 years old, straight out of uni, pretty skinny physique for an average gym goer, nothing too special. But this is me now, 1 year later. So today I'm going to show you guys how I achieved this transformation, everything from my training to my diet, so hopefully you guys can learn to do the same. So let's start from the beginning. So my starting physique foundation for this transformation, I'd say, was already pretty decent. I'd been going to the gym for the past few years, doing the classic push-pull bro workout split, where I just do bench press, pull-ups, cable machines, tricep pushdowns, bicep curls, all those exercises that most people commonly do. And I followed this workout with no really specific goal other than to, well, just look better. But after some time doing this push-pull workout, I started to get, well, bored. I'd start skipping workouts throughout the week, so that really hindered progress in terms of my physique and fitness. But that was until I found calisthenics. So on the 27th of January 2023, I booked my very first calisthenics class at this place called Calisthenics Republic. I didn't know at the time, but I was about to be very, very lucky to have my very first calisthenics teacher at a class there, to be one of the OGs and pioneers of calisthenics in the UK, Lee Wade Turner. Lee was at the top of the calisthenics game way before it was popular back in the early 2010s, and he even held the world record for the most consecutive ring muscle ups. And he's still an absolute beast today, and a great coach. Lee is a great calisthenics teacher. He helped me push myself to my limits quite literally, and he introduced me into weighted calisthenics training, which is the main reason I think I progressed so fast this year. So right now I'm going to test my max weighted dips and my max weighted pull-ups to give you guys an idea of my stats. And yeah, I haven't done this in a long time, so hopefully I get something good. Previously, I'd never really add weight or go very heavy on my pull-ups or dips, but once I started to, this is when I saw the most amount of gains and improvements to my explosive power, and this is the key to mastering these calisthenics skills. Alright, so I just finished my max weighted pull-up and my max weighted dip, and I got 45 kilos in both. I think I could have done heavier in my dips. I think 70% of your body weight is a good intermediate calisthenics level, as that is the threshold where you start to unlock skills like the front lever. So if you're looking to get these calisthenics skills, you definitely want to start progressive overloading your heavy lifts like pull-ups and dips. And each session you ideally want to try and aim to either increase the amount of reps you can do or increase the weight. I generally tend to aim for like 5 to 10 reps of a weight, and if I can hit like 10 reps then I go up. So throughout the beginning of 2023, Lee introduced me into these crazy calisthenics skills like the front lever, back lever, human flag. All these skills that I never thought I'd be able to do in my entire lifetime, but with each session I went to, we broke the skill down into easier and easier progressions, and they became seemingly more and more achievable. I remember my first session pretty vividly. It was a front lever session, and as soon as I was finished, I was hooked. I started replacing all my gym bro routines with a purely calisthenics routine. I replaced the bench press, the tricep pushdowns, the bicep curls with pure calisthenics exercises in order to achieve the front lever quicker. I realized that it wasn't until I actually started enjoying the process did I see week-on-week improvements in the gym and my physique. Alright, so fast forward to June. After a few months of training, I had already achieved a solid calisthenics foundation. It was at this time when I was at one of Lee's classes and he couldn't make it. He got another calisthenics coach to come and cover for him. The substitute coach was Pat. He was a great coach and had all the skills I dreamed of: front lever, back lever, human flag, one arm pull up. And not only that, I found out he was the exact same age as me. And it was through Pat that I was introduced to this upcoming East Asian, Southeast Asian calisthenics group called New Territories. So the first session I ever went to was probably their 4th session ever, and it was held in this tiny calisthenics park in Holborn in central London, and there was probably like maybe 10 of us there. Most of us were pretty beginner at the time, but now it's approaching the 1-year mark of this community and it's stronger than ever. Most of the time the turnout is like 20 to 30 people, and the most amount of people we've ever had is like 40 to 50 people at once.
Switch it again, translation, I got all y'all tripping for shit that was said. Competitive edge, can't blame me if I feel like I say with this pen I'm the best. Tell me who next, love to the predecessors, know the grace I'ma always respect, but don't sit and pretend like this ain't a competition.
So yeah, it's a very wholesome community. We're always teaching each other, learning from each other, working on our calisthenics skills, and a lot of people have introduced their own hobbies to the sessions. We have a lot of b-boys, martial artists, stuntmen, dancers, and we all share our knowledge and passion for exercise with each other. And I was also able to meet some really advanced people there who I could learn from, and I could also teach beginners there as well, as I was in the same position as them earlier on in the year. So after a month of training with New Territories, I decided to join a couple of my new friends, Zephyr and Chris, at their training sessions in Beckton Gymnastics Gym. Each of them used to train either freestyle calisthenics or martial arts / tricking there, and I started to tag along because I was becoming interested in freestyle calisthenics. So Beckton is this amazing place where you'll find all kinds of people like gymnasts, calisthenics athletes, cheerleaders, acrobats, martial artists, trickers, all doing insane stunts in a safe and controlled environment. So at this time I was feeling pretty good about my calisthenics ability. I definitely felt I was above average for someone training calisthenics. But when I got to Beckton, it was a completely different story. Everyone there was an athlete and I was definitely humbled. I was definitely a complete novice in this realm. So we met some crazy freestylers there who would fly over the bar doing 360s, 540s, backflips, front flips, some pretty crazy stuff. Everyone at Beckton was just really friendly and supportive and always down to teach you some new tricks. As many people do who go to Beckton or any of these large gymnastics gatherings, me and my friends, we became interested in all sorts of practices that people were doing in Beckton. So for us, that was mainly tricking alongside the freestyle calisthenics. We started to learn how to do flips on the ground. And there was also a lot of strength calisthenics athletes who were better at statics there. And we'd also learn how to be better at our static holds in calisthenics. Beckton was a great environment where you could meet the top level athletes of each discipline and get some tips and learn from them. So near the end of 2023 is when my hard work finally started to pay off, and I started unlocking these skills basically every month. I unlocked the front lever, the back lever, the human flag, the handstand kind of, even some dynamic skills like 180s, bar gainers, jump over the bar, jump on the bar. So the main key secret to me unlocking these skills in such quick succession was through the use of the grease to groove technique, as well as progressive overloaded training. So the grease to groove technique in short is when you train a skill multiple times a day. Each time you train it, you're only doing one set to failure. So for example, for the front lever, the grease to groove technique, I might hold it 5 times throughout the day. Each time I'm holding to failure at the hardest progression I can hold it. So at the beginning, it would have been tucked front lever, then advanced tuck, and then half lay. So your progress on these skills is going to be limited to how often you can train it throughout the day. So I really recommend you get like a pull-up bar or like a dip bar if you're trying to train any of these pulling movements. So after I got my first dip bar, which is a waist height bar that you can train a front lever on, my front lever progression just like skyrocketed. And then we already talked about progressive overloaded training. You basically want to increase the amount of weight you do or number of reps with each session. And ideally you want to get to 70% of your body weight added on to your pulling and pushing exercises. Alright, so now we're going to talk about my diet throughout the past year, and what's a better way to do that than actually cook dinner. So I've never been one to track my calories or macronutrients. I think I tried it one time, but I found it very tedious and not very practical. So I end up just forgetting anyway. But I do put a lot of attention into my diet, as I think if you don't have a good diet, you're not maximizing your potential from all the effort you spend in the gym. So I always go for low carb, high protein options whenever I'm faced with a choice of food. This is so that I don't put on any excess fat and I get enough protein to help build my muscles. So I try aim for around 120 grams of protein a day because I'm 60 kilograms and I think you want 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So this is a prime example of what I have for dinner most days. It's chicken thighs with a bone for extra flavor, and then I chop up a couple of vegetables and chuck them in the oven. So that's everything I got up to in the past year in terms of fitness. I've learned a lot about my body and how to effectively train it. So this year I'm expecting to see even more progress and even more results. I'm not done yet. I still have many calisthenics skills I want to learn and goals in terms of my physique. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.